How much is the equipment that you have in the studio? One question that was sent to me recently about the equipment that I have, and also whenever somebody's asking questions about the equipment, it also comes up with how much was it, right? And sometimes people get weird about pricing or about money. In this video, what I'll do is I'll share a little bit of well, not a little bit. In the preparation for the video, I just took each piece of equipment that's being used now, and we're just gonna walk through each piece and go over the price, go over the location, and then if you're and then over on the YouTube page, what I'll do is in the notes portion, what I'll do is I'll put in all of the links. I don't have an affiliate link. I'm not that big, and I also don't even know how to do it. But I'll send you all those links if you have any interest in seeing the websites or going to the websites and to see what I have, and then you can figure out what's best for you. So we'll go with that, and then we'll start with that and go from there. All right. Number one, let's go through each piece of the equipment. I got to get a T-ball practice, so I'm going to go through these kind of relatively quick. It looks like I'm dropping a few frame rates if I understand some of what the equipment's telling me, which means I'm stressing it out a little bit. So anyway, let me know how it looks to you. Let me know where you're watching from. But we're just going to walk through all of the equipment that I use in the studio, and we'll see how it goes. All right, number one, the laptop. All right, so the laptop, here's the note that I'll make. Again, there's a bunch of videos out there that covers the kind of equipment to focus on. I am an Apple guy, so I have a 2020 MacBook. The big thing I'll note for this one is that it has a number of ports. The ports allow me to plug in the multiple cameras, because I don't have like a DSLR camera or any of those yet. But the ports allow me with the 4 ports allow me to have the multiple dongles, which allow me to be able to have the cameras along with the other things that are connected into the computer. So the ports is relevant, especially with the MacBooks, because they don't all come with the same ability to plug things into them. All right, so I think we are moving. All right, so that is the MacBook Pro. You see that price. What I'm gonna do as we go along is I'm gonna note what in the world? Okay, let's see. Try that again. And maybe it's not. Okay, interesting. Maybe you won't be able to see the notes. Typically, my notes pop up right here, but maybe not right now. Okay, system malfunctioning. All right, let me see if there's a button I can press to make that work. Let me double check. There we go. Better. All right. I think we're in business. Appreciate your patience through these. All right. So what we're gonna do is mark up the equipment, and then we'll know the price, and we'll just add it up. I actually don't know the price as I'm doing all this. So this is I'll just put 2020 4-port, and then the corresponding cost, which you'll see on this other screen, which was the $1129.99. All right, so we'll go back to that's so weird. It's doing that. All right, let me just adjust this real quick, and then hopefully we'll be back up and going. All right. Well, all right, we'll just take it a step at a time. So, number one, 1129.99. Let me make that note here. Looks like 1129. And then I also want to be getting the website and bring that over. If you're joining us, we are just noting down some of the equipment and making it so you are able to know what equipment there is and what I'm using currently. All right, boom. Okay. All right, we have the first thing down. All right, so we got number one, and what I'm gonna keep doing is go back through, and we'll go to number two. Again, if you're watching this live, we are just looking up the equipment. So the second one, we got a secondary MacBook. The reason that's relevant, I didn't notice in the beginning, but ultimately what you could do is overwork the computer that you're doing all the work on, and so the secondary computer might help with some of the glitches that will happen in a live stream. So I'll give you an example. If we went over to like my birthday, stream, and we just pulled that up real quick, and you can see the problematic nature when I was trying to do too much on the main computer as opposed to using the secondary computer for the upload. So let me pull that up real quick, and then I'll share my screen so you can see kind of the problematic nature with that one. So maybe okay, maybe not. Well, check out this video. And it's that intro or outro video that I use. Just imagine if this video was glitched. All right. So the reason that secondary computer is relevant is because, again, you could overstress and overwork your main computer. So I have, again, websites pulled up. I have a few applications pulled up on the main computer, meaning that if it's helpful to have a secondary computer that does the uploading while this computer is doing all of the downloading and maneuvering with all the applications. So that secondary computer is doing the other work. So then you all can see that computer. Again, that one's $354.99. That's my secondary computer that I use. Let me see if I can pull up the notes to see if that's working for us or what's happening there. I'm going to go MacBook 2016, and we'll just put 354. The goal was to create this doc and be able to put it easily into the notes over on YouTube. But it looks like this will be a little bit more difficult than I had imagined. So either way, we'll get through it. And okay, we have the link there. All right. So now we have the two pieces of equipment. We'll keep it moving. We'll go back to the next piece of equipment, which is, I know it sounds silly. These things do add up though. So I will go ahead and put these in the mix as well. All the dongles that you need for the MacBook. It's known that the MacBook, you can't just put a USB, I guess a USB-C cord into it. You actually need the dongle that goes with it for you to be able to make it all work. So I have 3 separate ones just for the live streaming space, so that I have everything that I need plugged in through that. So think about this. So it's $69 times whatever. What is that? 1, 2. I count 3 of them right now. Again, that adds up to $210 just with the dongles. Not a probably a preferred way of rocking with it, but it does. It is a piece of the equipment. So I'll just put MacBook dongles. And I'll just note the price, which I believe we were just there, $69. And then we'll just come over here, bring the website so that we have that document and it pulled up. So then the thing about it is those dongles, sometimes they could be insufficient. So what I also needed to do was needed an additional, again, they're adapters. So 3 of these were needed to make it all work. So then I'll make note of this. I'll just put these down as the non-Apple adapters. And those were $22.99 each. Let's go to note that here. And we did need, it's not even showing you guys. There we go. It's showing a little something there. All right. So you all can at least see what I'm trying to write down over here. All right, there we go. And all right, so we have the non-Apple adapters. You have the Apple adapters, $69 each. The non-Apple adapters are $22.99 each. Let's keep it moving and see what else is. All right, here goes the cameras. Again, I don't have like the DSLR cameras that I probably will eventually have. Here's the big lesson I think I'm learning in my life that might be applicable to you who are getting into this space is I'm learning to never let the equipment outpace the discipline. Don't let the equipment outpace the discipline. What that means is when I was younger, I would buy workout equipment that I hadn't yet built out the discipline in my character to use on a consistent basis. In other words, I wasn't a consistent person. So I could have all of the best workout equipment in the world, yet if I did not have the discipline, it wouldn't really matter how great of the workout equipment I had, because the discipline wasn't in my life to be able to effectively use whatever equipment that I have. So that's true for workout equipment as it is for, again, all of this tech equipment for live streaming. So what I told myself, even the cameras that I'm using, they're $129 cameras, which is, again, nice for some, not so much for others. But the reason I'm bringing it all up is sometimes we think we got to go all in and buy all of the equipment at once. Well, for me, it was more of like, this is equipment accumulated over the last 6 years. I looked through and I thought through some of what I purchased. It was 6 years ago. So anyway, let's keep it moving and we'll jump into that next piece, which is the camera, which is $129. So I have 3 of these. You see, again, the main camera is right over the laptop in front of me, and then the left camera is to my left here, and that's capturing, just to my left. The right camera is over here and to my right. So I have 3 of these the Logitech Brio 4K webcams. Again, I'll probably update, assuming I get the discipline down. I'll probably update to a DSLR in the next few months. Let's keep it moving because I got to get a T-ball practice. So we'll go to a next piece of equipment. You know what I mean? It's so silly for doing that. Okay. USB cameras. And we did see those were priced at $129. Now I have 3 of them. And then let me go ahead and bring the website over. All right, we'll keep it moving. The next one is this is kind of the camera holders. These are things that are holding my cameras up, so you can see these right here. I have 2 of these that are holding, again, camera, the left camera and the right camera. Something has to be holding them up. The main middle camera is being held up by the laptop. That's typically how a webcam works. But because I have 3 of them, one of them needs to be held up on the left, and another one needs to be held up on the right. So because of that, I have these gooseneck cell phone holders that are helping to do the job by holding those up. So we're at $17.99 with our notes that we're taking here. I'm going to put gooseneck holders. $17.99. And did I already copy? All right. Good to go. Again, if you have questions about anything that we're discussing from an equipment perspective, feel free to let me know in the comment, but we'll keep it moving here. All right. Outside of that, the next thing we have is the monitors that are above me. Again, depending on the laptop or computer you have, might have a limit on the monitors you can have as well. The laptop I got, allows you to have 2 additional monitors. So those are to my left, to my right. Those are $109. Again, I did not go fancy, did not go big. I pretty much went to Best Buy and I said, all right, what are the least expensive monitors I can get to add to the studio? So if you can visualize this, I have the laptop right in front of me, and then I have the one monitor to my left and one monitor to my right. They're above the laptop. So if I'm looking up here to my left, I'm looking at the monitor. Looking to my right, you see the other monitor. So those are $109. And then we'll go back to our dock. I wanted to add all this up at the end, but it doesn't look like we're going to have the time to do all of that. Typically, before I stream, I restart the computer, but for some reason, there was a little bit of a delay today. So I'm going to have to finish the stream, get ready, go to T-ball practice, and then we'll keep it moving. All right, let's look at our next item, which is the microphones. The microphone I have is, again, one you see Joe Rogan with, or see a lot of podcasters with, which is the Shure SM7B cardioid dynamic microphone. You can see it here. I'll go ahead and get the link, and then I'll bring it back over to the document we are working on together. It actually worked. Okay, great. Microphones. I'm gonna put 2. Got the link already, and $399.99 is the price. All right, we're moving through now, y'all. Okay. Next one, we have the microphone holders. So that is these 2 Gator frameworks. Again, they're what I like about them is you can use them. You could pretty much, you can see those knobs on them. You can see mine over here. Has this one where you could move it up and down. It also has a secondary, I guess maybe an elbow, a shoulder is what they might be known as, that allow you to be able to move it to adjust exactly to you. If I would do this over again for live streaming, I wouldn't necessarily get this one. I'd probably get a shotgun mic where I'd have the microphone out of the shot. But that's what I started with in-person interviews. So that's this one right here. So let's move that over. See if there we go. And that's what we're going to call the microphone. Boom stand. It is definitely on the pricier side of the equipment. So $129. I think to me that's expensive for a microphone stand. But that's the one we went with. All right. So we have the microphone boom stand. We have the microphones. Let's look at the next piece of equipment. It is... This one's a little bit complicated to explain, but I'll bring it up here anyway. It's a capture card. Ultimately, what it lets me do is, because I have one monitor that's showing this stream, in order for me to upload it to another computer, I have this visual being being sent to another computer, and I think the best way I discovered to send that over is with a capture card. So that's a piece of the equipment that I didn't know anything about until I got into this. Into the game of streaming. I was like, okay, a capture card. So we'll bring up that's funny that the computer really wants to keep bringing up this page. Let me see if I can adjust that real quick. Okay, there we go. I think we actually got it done. All right, so capture card. Let me scroll up so you're able to see that. We have the capture card. Pricing on that was $199.99. This, again, the tech stuff is not really a natural strength, but you kind of just skill stack and learn about it so you can figure out what's best for you. All right. Next one up, we have the capture card. Now we're going to go over the drawing tablet. I've explained a little bit of this on a prior video. Everybody doesn't need something like this, but again, it's a little touch to your setup. So this will be the drawing tablet here. This is probably the best way to do it. The drawing tablet, and we'll do price at $59.99. Okay, then we're looking at the next thing. Well, in case this is the first video you're seeing of me, just so you can see what that is like, I'll pick that up real quick. The drawing tablet allows me to pick up my pen, and then I have Microsoft Photoshop, rather Adobe Photoshop open. And then if I want to type a special message like whatever, I love my wife, right? Then hey, I'm able to type that up or write that out. It's not really so much for writing words as it is for illustrating. As a teacher and as a communicator, I just like to find new ways to be able to communicate in a way that the audience would really get. So that is the drawing tablet. I think we already added that to our. Yes, we did. Okay, let's move to our next one in line, which is the keypad. Again, nothing fancy here. It's like, yeah, it helps because if the computer's away from you, it does help to have that wireless keypad. So I'll put the Apple keypad keyboard. Naturally, Apple stuff is crazy expensive. $115 for keyboard, I think is ridiculous, but that's kind of the game with Apple. All right, let's see what's next in line. We have, the mouse, $79.99. Again, for a mouse, I mean, I remember getting those things for like $20 at like a Big Lots, but Apple's at $79.99. But again, we're totaling all this up because it's all pieces of the equipment or for the studio. So, all right. Rodecaster Pro. This is a newer addition to my studio. I haven't had this for too long, but if I wanted to add like sound effects to the mix, if I wanted to, something a little surprised or kind of like that rewind sound, or something that was deeper, I want to be able to hit that sound, or again a little hip hop mix or an intro, or if I wanted to do a little bit of a fireball, then that's what this allows me to do. It also allows me to send sound seamlessly from one computer to another and back and forth. Again, there's different ways to do it, but this is one of the ways to do it. And then it has a whole bunch of other functions as well to help the sound to be nice and crispy. All right, so what time is it? I'm gonna have to do part 2 of this later. Yeah, I'm gonna do part 2 and get going. All right, so let me wrap up the video. And so that's the Rodecaster. I'll come back on the Rodecaster Pro 2, and because I gotta get the T-ball practice. Anyway, if you have questions about equipment, about the studio, again, I would say it's so easy to downplay my studio because you see other people on YouTube. Again, they're just at another level. So mine's relatively simple. Again, depending on how you look at all these things. But appreciate you guys tuning in. If you have questions about the equipment, about the studio, about pricing, if I missed something, let me know. But I'll be doing a part 2 probably later tonight. So I'll get to the other 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 things that are in the studio that I didn't know about that I'm hoping to help the next person who's coming up to know a lot more about. But with that said, you all have a good one, and we'll talk soon. Peace.